With studios in Louisiana and Bowling Green, this is Eagle 102 KJFM Louisiana Bowling Green. KJFM Radio, Eagle 102. Area high school softball is on the air. Every week, Eagle 102 brings you the best of area high school sports. On air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM Radio app. Now to the diamond for high school softball on your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.
And good afternoon and welcome to Mark Twain High School softball this afternoon on Eagle 102 Sports as the Mark Twain Tigers welcome in the Silex Owls. And Maddie, an EMO matchup, a beautiful day. The cell signal might not be plentiful, but at least the Wi-Fi ends at the barn.
That's exactly right. And lots of sunshine today. A good day for some EMO conference softball. Mark Twain comes into this one sitting at 500. And the Silex Lady Owls not necessarily off to the start that they're wanting this season, but they are 3-9 coming into this game. But a couple of those 9 losses have been some really tight, close games that they competed well with.
So we'll see if they can turn around their fortunes this afternoon or if Mark Twain can get over that 500 hump. We'll talk about it more when we start the pregame show next on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Pike County Title Company, Ambassador Plumbing Incorporated, and Lynn's Heritage House.
And I am here to remind you that we have
your pitcher in the circle. I mean, that says a lot when you're starting as a freshman, and
I think has a pretty good advantage here.
Oh yeah.
Number 42, Kylie Twellman. Then the pitcher, number 23, Rylan Harris. In the 7th spot is the designated player, number 12, Hope Cunningham. Then the third baseman, number 21, Macy Mooney. And rounding out
a PO today.
A PO?
Yeah, pitcher only.
Oh, okay, there you go. I'm like, parole officer?
I knew that you were still in prison mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Those are our starting lineups. We'll continue with more of the Eagle 102 Sports pregame show after this on KJFM Radio.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Hayden's Motorsports, Geeky Hillbilly, and the Twin Pike Family YMCA.
Castile Color Wheel has been proudly serving Pittsfield and the surrounding community since 1950 and is an expanded retail area. They began as a paint retailer handling Benjamin Moore and Pittsburgh paints, developing into a full-service decorating center, including wall coverings and Hunter Douglas custom window treatments. Castile off the northwest corner of the square in Pittsfield.
Welcome to Vast National Bank. How can I help you?
Hey, I'm here to talk to someone about a loan.
Oh, I'll grab 97B. We call it the Just Talking Form.
What about actually applying for a loan?
Oh my, let me pop in the toner cartridge. Hey Bill, you want to pass me the big stapler?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to People's Savings Bank.
Skip the mega banks. When you need a loan, visit People's Savings Bank. The people you know and trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ackles Farm Market has locally produced beef, pork, and honey. Stop in for your farm fresh cut ribeye, New York strip, sirloin steaks, fillets, stew meat, ribs, ground beef, snack sticks, and all beef hot dogs. While there, stock up on home well. Open every day, 9 to 7. Ackles Farm Market, just off Highway 54 between Louisiana and Pittsfield.
High school sports on your area sports leader. Eagle 102, brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, State Farm.
Softball on a Tuesday. Good crowd gathering here, well behind the campus of Mark Twain High School.
Yeah, they've done some improvements here, though. This field looks fantastic.
That is a tall wall out there in the outfield.
Yeah, it's not necessarily
satisfied customers who've made the switch to Central State Bank and experienced the personal touch and professional service that
means over at first. Olivia Paxton behind the plate and Chloe Hodges doing the pitching here this afternoon for the home team, the Mark Twain Tigers. And the PA announcer is very excited.
He is.
About the Mark Twain Tigers as he announces the starting lineup here ahead of the first pitch. Mark Twain, 5-5. Silex,
3-9.
3-9.
Yep, they picked up their third win over the weekend, and that was Valley Park when they played in the Ellsbury Invitational. A lot of our area teams played in that. Ellsbury, Silex, Clopton, all competed.
And Ellsbury had a very good weekend.
Yeah, they did. They went 3-0 on the weekend, and so able to bring home some Ellsbury Invitational hardware.
I think all levels of Ellsbury softball went undefeated on
I think
that
so.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was talking to head coach Levi Yasin over the weekend, and I'm pretty sure he dropped that a couple of times. That's exciting, though. That means you have a successful program over these last few years, and that's only going to continue with the middle school team.
Did he mention the 100th win?
No, I put him on blast for that one. Though.
Okay.
I gave him a big shout out.
And did he mention? I think they had 2 players get their 100th hit in the same game. He got his 100th win.
Yeah, it was the twins, Anna and Katie Talbot. They both got their 100th career hit in the same game.
All right, they're going to have the national anthem. We'll take a break. Come back with first pitch after this on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Pike County Title Company, Ambassador Plumbing Incorporated, and Lynn's Heritage House.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Geared Up, just off the square in Pittsfield, is your first stop for screen printing and embroidery. The folks at Geared Up take pride in making their communities and schools look great while offering the best prices around. If you're looking to expand your wardrobe, or maybe a gift is on the list, stop by their store and check out numerous items in stock. When you're looking for custom apparel and awards for your business, organization, or team, stop by Geared Up, 211 South Madison in Pittsfield.
Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats is your first stop when stocking your freezer. Brown's has frozen chicken, steaks, brats, and burgers ready to go. For wholesale and custom butchering, Brown's is your first call. It's where quality meets service. Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats. For your meat processing, smokehouse meats, and homemade sausage. Just off Highway 61 in Silex.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Eagles Bluff Golf Course, People's Bank and Trust, Pike County Health Department, and Missouri State Representative Chad Perkins.
As we wedge ourselves back into the broadcast booth following the national anthem, just about ready for first pitch here from Mark Twain High School. Mark Froenig, Maddie Ingram. As the Tigers welcome in the Silex Owls this afternoon.
Couldn't ask for a better day. This is a great day for softball. Lots of sunshine. Feels like that last taste of summer.
Yeah, there were a few complaints. I'm like, hey, hold on to it while you can.
Yeah, those are the same people that'll be complaining whenever it's 20 degrees cooler in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly. But I'd say find a tree to stand under, but
yeah. There's really
shade
not
is
much
at
here.
a premium here.
Yeah, we have some beans.
Some beans, yeah.
To
You
our
can
right.
hide under the beans.
Yep.
Beyond that is the football field, the high school, and the
football practice field over there too.
Yeah.
But they've done a lot of improvements over the last.
Everything looks great.
Yeah, 5 years or so, and everything just looks great.
It
Been
seems
piece
like
by piece.
Everyone since Bowling Green upgraded their baseball softball diamonds, everyone has been just one after another, and I think Colopton will finally get one here shortly.
They're getting a turf field.
Well, there you go.
Yep. So turf infield, and I believe it's grass outfield. So that'll be shared by the baseball and softball teams. It was expected to be done before the start of stealing bases and getting into scoring position. So a good start for the Owls would be getting Jensen on.
Hodges has her 0-2. They'll set up outside, looking for the strikeout. That one low, goes between the legs of the catcher. A ball and 2 strikes. Slight breeze going from right to left. And the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Dropped through the zone. And that's the first out.
This is going to have to be a sit-and-wait procedure for the Silex Lady Owls. There's some funky spin to Hodges' pitch, but it's not going to be in comparison to some of the pitchers that they've already faced this year that have a little bit more velocity, but she's moving the ball. You're going to have to sit and wait.
Well, she put a little mustard on that one and got James to swing through it for strike one.
I'm all about a movement pitcher, and she seemed to have a good mix.
Handed hitter, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Hodges winds and fires, and this one bounces in. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kenzie James. Carrington Morris on deck. Base is empty, 1 out. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Chased one outside, and the count even at 2-2.
They're just falling to that front foot and definitely need to keep their weight back for a little bit longer to connect.
The 2-2 outside. Count goes full.
Dugout wanted that one.
That was 2.5 foot outside.
Yeah. There were many shouts from the dugout.
May it started in the zone.
Maybe. Good
this
break.
One hit in the air, foul territory, and will reach the seats, so to speak, beyond the Mark Twain dugout.
Thinking that's probably the weakest part of the bat it could have hit. That was an odd sound for that foul ball.
Another 3-2 pitch from Hodges to James is on its way. This one lined to the third baseman, caught by Tischer, and there's 2 outs.
Good job by James to sit back on that, and she turned quick as that pitch was running in on her hands. She drove it down the left field line, but a good glove by Tischer. It's never easy to get a line drive right at the face, but she got her glove up, made the catch for out number 2.
And the bases are empty with 2 down for the catcher, Morris. And she takes one inside to get ahead in the count 1-0. And a little chant out of the Silex dugout on the first base side. This one hit up the middle, and it's a 2-out hit. Morris is aboard. First hit of the ball game for either side.
That was a good adjustment from the first pitch that she swung at. Was able to sit back and get a pitch that floated over the meat of the plate, drive it back up where it came from, which was right down the middle.
That'll bring in Austin Van Horn in the cleanup spot. See if Silex can do something here with 2 outs. Throw gets away from the shortstop. It's going to be close. It's interesting. We saw it with the primary catcher, Haley Clark, the other day. They kind of throw off to the first base side a second and try and get the runner to slide into a tag.
Do you think that might be a defensive scheme also with somebody who may apply a better tag?
It's possible. It definitely looks intentional. This one hit the opposite way, and it's down. Silex is going to get a 2-out run to cross on an RBI hit by Van Horn.
Really good piece of hitting by Austin Van Horn. You want to take things the opposite way, especially when there's runners in scoring position. If you can drive it to that right side of the field, just a little bit of a longer toss in from the outfield, you're giving your runner more time to potentially come across and score, and that's exactly what they did there. Able to cash in and get one on the board.
That'll bring in Twellman. Kylie, the right fielder. Pitch was up, throw down, and safe at second base, a stolen base. So Silex being aggressive. And the count 1-0. That fouled back to the screen. A ball and a strike.
Twain had a big game against Montgomery County, and she really came up big for the Owls and was able to punch some hits through the gap, especially when they were needed, and put some runs across the plate.
The 1-1. Drops low. 2 balls and a strike. Kylie digs back in. And the next to Twellman. Outside. 3-1. And Hodges struggling after getting the first 2.
Some good reach by Olivia Paxton as that ball continued to carry out of the zone, and she was able to hold Van Horn at second.
That one fouled off. She got one to hit there on 3-1, which just a little behind. Count goes full. Good ping off that pole, though.
Mm-hmm. I didn't expect that. They're skinnier poles, too.
This one hit kind of a cue ball to the second baseman. She goes overhand, Ross does with the throw to Means to retire Twelman and retire the side. Silex gets a run in the top of the first inning. Mark Twain coming up, trailing on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by McMailer & Sons Backhoe and Excavating, La Crosse Lumber Company, and Sudsy.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by A Taste of Philly, State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock, Central State Bank of Illinois, and Eolia Landscape Supply.
Set the defense for Silex. It's Kuntz in left, Morgan Kuntz, Rylan Jensen at center, Kylie Twelman in right, Macy Mooney's the third baseman, Kenji James at short, Nikki Carroll at second, Carrington Morris behind the plate, and Rylan Harris taking her warm-up tosses. With a 1-0 lead after a half inning, Silex ahead of Mark Twain. Good 2-out hitting for the Lady Owls.
Yeah, and good situational hitting. I know I mentioned it earlier, but hitting to that right side when there's runners in scoring position is key. And so when you're able to do that, you're giving your runners a better chance at coming across the score, giving them more time. And so that was just extremely well done. Whether you meant to do it or not, you can work on it and get to that point. But that was perfectly executed.
And when Hodges came out throwing at such a different velocity than everyone else in the area, it's really hard because you have to wait to begin with a little longer to take it to the opposite field.
Yeah, and I mean, she has really good break to her ball, and that ball spins quite a bit. So even when you are sitting back, I wouldn't tell you that contact was necessarily hard. They were able to get things done, and they were able to get hits, but I wouldn't tell you that any of that contact was super strong. She did a good job of spinning that ball.
Hardest hit ball was the one right to the third baseman.
Yep.
1-0 the count to Ella Moss. Ooh, takes a low inside strike to even the count. Doesn't like it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Mark Twain.
Close.
That one just missed. And the count is full. She even looked back at the home plate umpire.
Right height.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit too far inside in comparison to the others.
And a payoff pitch to the leadoff hitter. This one is driven foul down the left field line.
She was anticipating that one. Ran back inside as well, and it's been effective for her so far. I think she was hoping to catch her sleeping and not swinging at that pitch, but a good adjustment by Ella Moss to foul that one off and get another.
Yeah, if it caught a little more plate, that one is extra bases.
Especially
Rode in on her.
Speed.
She yoinked it. This one fouled out of play as well. Count remains 3-2.
She's taking away that inside from Jensen, which Jensen pounded it early here in this count, but you know, whenever Moss is taking it away, you're going to have to find a different spot to hit.
That's good 2-strike hitting. Set up there again, and she takes a walk. Lead
That's
off
a good
better
at-bat.
on, yeah.
A couple of foul balls mixed in there. She saw a couple of strikes and was able to draw the walk. But that's exactly what you want. You're going to want to be paying attention in the dugout to see what Jensen has.
She's going. Throw goes down. It's a good throw, but late. And a stolen base. Pitch was a ball to Ross.
Good pop time from Carrington Morris and a really strong throw. You have some speed with Moss, so it's going to be difficult if you don't get the exact jump that you're wanting. But overall, not a bad pop from Morris.
The 1-0. Bunting gets it out in front of the plate. Throw is in time, but gets away from the covering second baseman. The run comes across. We're tied at 1. E3. No RBI for Ross, but we got a tie ball game. And she advanced to second base.
It was a really good bunt. It died, ran down that first baseline. It's perfect.
This one yanked foul between the on-deck hitter and the third base coach. for strike one to Bronwyn Harding. And we saw her do it the other day in the Bowling Green game. She's able to drop the bat in between herself and the ball. So that's another thing that the covering players have to deal with.
Watch.
0-2, though. The count to Harding. You go up the ladder here.
I would go down. Good hard pitch not to chase by Harding.
Another 1-2 pitch on its way to Brownman. Didn't get the call there either. A little farther outside, a little more up. 2-2.
That's the one I would have probably been ringing somebody up on.
Player straight away, infield and outfield. Strike three called. Went back to that pitch that she was getting against Moss and gets the strike three call for the first out.
He's been consistent with that call on the inside, and it's tough to get rung up on that one, especially with as many pitches as Harding was able to see and battle with. She was backed off the plate there, and it just rung her up right at the knees. The looking strikeout's the first out that the Lady Owls will record here in the bottom of the first.
And it'll bring in Lila Tischer, the cleanup hitter, with a runner in scoring position. Go-ahead run. That one bounces in for ball one.
Good snag by Morris. That one skipped over some shoelaces and could have gotten away.
The 1-0 on its way. Hit in the air and down on the infield. Everyone's going to be safe. Runners will stop at first and third. Wide turn from Ross.
Yeah, that's just a tough ball. I think that Jensen made her pitch there, and when you have runners on, sometimes your defense looks a little bit different. Maybe they're shaded a different way, and so that just created a bigger hole up the middle. Jensen did everything that she could. She turned around, tried to, Harris did everything that she could to turn around, try to catch that ball, but it was just in no man's land, and then you had some speed there with Tischer.
Yeah, just no man's land, about 3 foot behind the circle. Runner goes off first, throw down to third. And there's two in scoring position now.
Good flash by Kenzie James, the shortstop. She was covering as Macy Mooney got low, and toss was from Morris to James.
Pitch was a ball. And the count 1-0. There's a strike call, evens things up to Haley Clark. Lauren Haley Clark. Where's number 19? Bats from the right-hand side. And we noticed it the other day. Our heads. 1-2.
What would you notice the other day? Because I wonder if it's the same thing I'm noticing.
All the way back and has her foot hovering over the line. She's as far out and back in the batter's.
That inside pitch is going to be Harris's bread and butter. She was aiming for it there. Just didn't get enough on it, and it bottomed out on the backside of the strike zone.
That one hit her.
That went a long way after hitting her.
Participation is subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Noah Builders, Castile's Color Wheel, Eagles Nest Inn, and People's Savings Bank.
Hodges will face Harris, Cunningham, and Mooney. Kuntz, if anyone gets on here in the top of the second inning. Tie ball game 1-1. So both teams scratch or run across. Potential for a big inning. Good pitching on both sides.
Yeah, the only critique I think anybody would have, especially with the limited numbers on the pitching staff for Silex this year and already playing quite a few games, you'd like to see less hitters to the plate in that first inning, but I thought that Harris did a really good job of settling down, and I wouldn't say that there were any errors that were really hurting her other than the bunt that we had where you had your E3 where the run did come across to score, but other than that, you had some soft contact, so continue to do that and everything will work itself out.
Yeah, bad luck. You didn't help yourself with the walk and a hit by pitch, as that one's a ball on the first pitch to Harris. So pitcher against pitcher to start the second inning. And the next to Ryland is high and away. Of Of course, a lot of things are high to Rylan Harris. It's a short joke. The 2-0 swung at one up about her ear.
She
Came
was
up empty.
eager for that. Way out in front of it.
The next is fouled back to the screen, and now the count even. Was ahead 2-0, now it's 2-2. Hodges looks in, now starts her wind. Ooh, just got a piece. And almost snuck under the backstop, and I think that's why they have that.
That's why they have the pipe there.
Yeah.
The flexible gutter pipe.
Spout tubing, I don't know what it is.
It has an official term, but.
That one misses high and away, and the count goes full. It looks a lot like the stuff they usually put, the yellow stuff on top of the
on top of the fencing. Was thinking that earlier. If we're not going to use it out there, we'll use it up here.
And a walk. So, Harris got ahead in the count, took a few cuts, then had to battle, and ends up drawing the leadoff walk.
So they'll send Cunningham to the plate.
First walk issued by Chloe Hodges.
And we do have a courtesy runner, looks like. Maybe.
That one low. We do.
And that is.
It's a single digit.
Yeah.
Is that a 3? Is it Harrell?
Cameron Harrell.
Or no, it's a 4.
It's a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor Lichtig?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Is the next one missed. And it's already a 2-0 count. And Hope sends this one toward the gap. It's going to get down off as Shepard. Has a little trouble with it. 1-1 the count.
I like the all red bat. Red bat, red tape.
It kind of clashes with the green and black uniform.
It does.
Up high. 2 balls and a strike. Kuntz, the left fielder.
Then they're back to the top of the lineup.
Second and third, 1 out. Bounces in, 3 balls and a strike. Now you're going to have to come at Kuntz. Three-one on its way, and this one fouled out of play. Pretty good 3-1 pitch there, as Hodges wasn't giving in. So the count goes full. Pitch on its way. This one hit in the air. It's going to stay on the field, it looks like. And did she catch it? No.
She bobbled it and lost it at the fence. That was a really good effort by Jenna Ross. She was sliding in to try to catch that ball in foul territory. Well done.
If I'm the runner at third there, Lichtig,
I would have been
I'm tagging.
Yep.
They'd really have to, because she was also facing the corner as she made that slide. As this one bounces in, and a 1-out walk loads the bases. Second walk in the inning issued by Hodges. Now she's in a world of hurt as the center fielder Jensen digs in, the leadoff hitter.
She got caught looking in her first at bat.
Ross giving up a lot of room up the middle. Ooh, strike called. Jensen moves back in the box. And the 0-1. Up in her eyes. A ball and a strike. One out. Bases juiced. 1-1 ball game. Hodges wants a strikeout or a pop-up. That one in the air, but hits the turf and goes foul.
That's going to be some good luck there, because that ball had some nasty, nasty spin to it. It would have been hard to pick up and toss across the diamond in time to get Jensen. You had that force out at home plate, but if you can't get a handle on it and everyone's going, it could have been a recipe for disaster.
The saving grace there would be the runner at third had to make sure it didn't get caught as this one rolls in. So she would have been a sitting duck. You can either tag or throw home and get the fours. 2-2. Off the end of the bat and foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rylan Jensen.
The good news is when you have bases loaded, you have options whenever you're a defender. You can look at any bag. The bad news is the bases are loaded.
Yeah. So if it gets through you, some runs are going to score.
That's exactly right.
Another 2-2 pitch. Again, off the end of the bat. That's 3 in a row off the end of the bat.
I'd like to see her go outside just a little bit more. She's been inching closer and closer. I'd like to see her challenge Jensen.
Another 2-2. This one back to her. They're going to go to first and dropped. Everyone's safe. Oh, my.
I think Adeline Means just got a little excited, looking possibly for that double play, and ends up dropping the ball. Closed her glove too early, and it stayed pretty close to her, but unable to recover in time for Jensen. She came down the line, so an error on the first baseman.
Kind of a mental error on Hodges, though. You got to come home with that one.
Yeah.
This one is driven into left. One hopper. Everybody's going to be safe, and it's 3-1 Silex. RBI for Kenzie James, and that was probably the hardest hit ball so far in this ball game. In to score is Cunningham. Over to third goes Kuntz, and she had a motor to get over there. Jensen down to second. She almost got forced at third from left. And this one hit the opposite way again. Caught by the second baseman. She'll step on first herself. An unassisted double play to end the inning. That could have been worse for Mark Twain. Good defensive play by Jenna Ross to save a few runs. It's 3-1 Silex as we head to the bottom of the second. Mark Twain coming up on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Hayden's Motorsports, Geeky Hillbilly, and the Twin Pike Family YMCA.
Did you know you can earn money by harvesting wild plants? Hi, I'm Craig Barnes with Barnes Roots and Herbs. We're south of Eolia, and we buy wild harvested plant products like sassafras leaf, walnuts, golden seal, ginseng, and many more. For more information and a list of what we're buying, visit us on Facebook, or you can call us at 636-205-4333. Barnes Roots and Herbs, 636-205-4333. Money does grow on trees.
The best coverage of area high school sports is on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite, Pike County Memorial Hospital, Ackles Farm Market, and Shelter Insurance Agent Ashley Jenkins.
Good defensive play by Ross at second base to grab that looping liner and just use her momentum to race and double off the Silex runner.
Yeah, Kenzie James, it looked like she had taken off on the pitch, so she had a pretty good jump, and then the ball was hitting the air. By the time she was able to try to spin and go back to first base, Ross was already on her way there. There was really nothing she could do about that, but it's a tough break because if you're Silex, you want to continue scoring, especially with the heart of your lineup at the plate.
And those are the kind of things that happen in a 2-9 season.
Yeah.
Or 3-9 at this point. Just bad luck.
And you want to see, even if the record doesn't necessarily show it, you want to see a team continue to make those improvements. You want them to be able to make that adjustment to where you don't see it whenever it comes to the postseason. So all learning experiences.
8-9-1 as Means leads things off. She fouled that ball off. 0-1. Means, Shepard, then back to the top for Moss.
Mark Twain has quite a few athletic girls, like very athletic builds. They take up a good size of the batter's box, and they look like they mean business when they step in.
Getting back to to the Silex hitters, it really looks, all in all, they're having trouble squaring up as that one swung on and missed for a strikeout.
Rise ball
Means.
that carried out of the zone.
The only Silex batter that's really squaring up the ball has been James.
Yes.
She hit the line drive, hard line drive to third, and then hit a rope out there into left field. So other than that, it's kind of been dinking and dunking and a couple of errors on the Mark Twain side as that one swung on and missed by Shepard.
I always told myself, wait. That was what I would continuously say to myself in the batter's box. And then as soon as I was ready to go, I'd tell myself, wait one more time. And that's just, you want to keep that weight back as long as you can, because if I'm out of my front leg, I can still power some things up. I can muscle something up, shove it to a hole. But it doesn't necessarily always turn out the way I want it to. I'm not going to be able to send it to the fence. I'm not going to be able to put it over the fence either if I'm not using any of my legs.
That one foul tipped into the glove of Morris. She hangs on. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring in Ella Moss with the bases empty and 2 down. So back to the top of the order.
In her last at-bat, Moss was able to draw the walk, as she had a really good at-bat. Fouled quite a few pitches off and saw quite a bit from Harris and was able to draw the walk eventually.
Home plate umpire not giving the high strike. And that one hit her. Second hit by pitch that Harris has delivered already in this ball game.
So that is free base number 3. She's issued a walk and then 2 hit by pitch. So 2 free passes for Moss. Moss came around to score earlier. So
look out. Pitch out. Throw down. Goes into center field. Good backup job there from Jensen to hold her there with just a stolen base.
yeah, and great job by Moss with that pop-up slide. She was ready to go in case that ball was getting past a defender in the outfield.
Pitch was a ball. I think out 1-0. Showing bunt.
Ooh, that was close.
I'd have called that strike one. Instead a 2-0 count.
I don't know if maybe Carrington Morris standing up in that stance, that catcher stance, didn't help.
That may be. Popped up into center. Backing up on it is Jensen, and it's overhead. Burner. Run comes across, and she's going to run for a while, all the way around to third.
Oh, she's going to.
She made the turn and goes back to third base.
Wow.
I think she could have made it.
I think she could have, too. She has a stride like no other. That is speed right there. She might be one of the fastest girls in the EMO conference. She turned what was usually just a double for anybody into a triple and almost turned it into an inside-the-park home run. That is some heads-up base running and just very, very good piece of hitting.
Now she's the potential. That was 0-1. Long strike. Bronwyn Harding.
Harding was a looking strikeout her last at-bat.
This one grounded to the third baseman. Big hop, throw to first in time, and again, the Tigers strand a runner. They stranded the bases loaded last inning. Runner at third this inning, and Silex still has the lead as we played 2 full, 3-2. Silex leads Mark Twain on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Dennis Mudd Auto Body, W5 Auction Services, and Center Locker Service.
State Farm in Pittsfield understands that life can be tough. The State Farm staff is there to help you make smart decisions when it comes to all your insurance and financial service needs. Call, email, text, or stop by the office Monday through Friday between 9 to 5 to talk to an agent. State Farm in Pittsfield, a family-oriented office, is located at 311 Half West Washington Street in Pittsfield, serving Pike County, Illinois, and the surrounding areas.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning. After closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Geared Up, Community State Bank of Missouri, and Barnes Roots and Herbs.
Top of the third inning, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Van Horn to lead things off for Silex.
In her last plate appearance, she had a line drive to right field for a single and drove in a run for the Lady Owls.
Way out for ball 1 to start at bat number 2. The 1-0 pitch in a 3-2 ball game. You got to keep moving, or just 3-2 from Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Pike County Title Company, Ambassador Plumbing Incorporated, and Lynn's Heritage House.
Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company is a proud sponsor of the local schools and their athletes. When it's time to quench that thirst, reach for one of the many Pepsi products found in the local concession stands, including Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sundrop, or the Enjoy Bubbler, Clarbrun Water, Lipgate Green. Wishes all the area athletes a great season.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, State Farm agents Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate, and Pepsi.
We'll send up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Lila Tischer, Lauren Haley Clark, Maylee Bowling.
That's the first goose egg on the scoreboard. No runs came across the score for the Lady Owls.
That one just missed outside to start the bottom of the third. 1-0, hit in the air. Second baseman will play it on a hop, and it gets
The same exact spot. Back-to-back infield singles for her 2 at-bats. And just pitches that are on that inner part of her bat, and she's able to get around on it enough. She pops it up in the air, but your shortstop's playing pretty far back. Your second base, Carol's also playing pretty far back, and so they're not pinching the middle either. It's really hard to get to that position, and it's hard to make a pitcher turn around, drop step, and make that catch too.
So maybe change up the defense next time. This one is a foul ball on the bunt attempt by Haley Clark, the designated player. 0-1. And it caught a bit of Carrington Morris's face mask, so she walks the ball back to the pitcher. Gets her wits about her. She doesn't want to go all Tua behind the plate.
Man. When multiple people are telling you you need to retire and you say no.
High. Ball and a strike. Out now to Paxton. Means on deck. The 3.
Pike County Health Department and Missouri Perkins.
And it is the 3rd inning here at Mark Twain High School, or the 4th inning. We just wrapped up the 3rd. Goose eggs on the board for both teams. Our score is 3-2. Silex is leading Mark Twain. Let's break down some scoring in the 2 runs in the 2nd inning, 0 runs in the 3rd. And for Mark Twain, they put 1 on the board in the 1st and 1 on the board in the 2nd. And that brings us to our evens things up at 1-1.
Hodges took a long time. I think she's trying to mess with the timing a little bit of Mooney. She's kind of had a little trouble with today.
Got the dropsies out there with it. Oh.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Mike Henry Excavating, Pogue Chevy Buick and Hannibal, and Service and Supply Co-op.
At Hannibal Regional Medical Group in Bowling Green, we're not only helping kids grow stronger, we're helping specialized care your child needs from birth through college, right here at home. From routine checkups to immunizations, we're equipped to handle all of your child's health needs. To schedule an appointment,
Hodges delivers the first pitch to Rylan Harris on the inside, and it is taken for strike 1. With 2 Rylans that are the same in statue and blonde hair, it's really easy to get them confused.
Well, rarely do you see this on the hit by pitch, and the bases stay loaded.
The courtesy runner is Lick Teague again.
7-2, a 5 spot, and Mooney's on deck.
Trying to bat around. Cunningham steps in on the right side, and the first pitch bounces in off the chest protector. It's going to be a play at the plate. Oh, man, I thought she got Van Horn with the tag.
Yeah,
that was a great attempt. A great attempt.
From my vein.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Noah Builders, Castile's Color Wheel, Eagles Nest Inn, and People's Savings Bank.
So there will be quite a few changes to come here. They're going to have to do some shuffling.
Yeah, I don't think they were ready for a pitching change, but that was
No.
the second visit of the inning. The new pitcher is going to be
Bowling.
Yeah, she comes in from right field. They just switched.
Yeah.
So
it looks like Hodges will go out there. Yep.
In the top of the third, Louisiana leading Wright City 12-3 in varsity softball.
To get that win at home on homecoming.
They're at Wallace Memorial Park.
They've been off to a really good start this year. Contributions from up and down their lineup, and it's nice to see all of that hard work that program has that they've done over the last few years. That started as freshmen, and they were really fun to watch and see them grow. Had a really successful year last year, went to the district championship, and then you have a lot of those pieces still there, hoping to do the same thing again this year.
Well, and it I think helps that Coach Cannon comes out of the same factory, and seamless, but a different voice.
Yeah.
At the
that doesn't help at all, right?
But it helps.
Yeah, just a little bit. Runners at first and third, and as we mentioned, we have a pitching change. That is Bowling, as the Lady Owls have batted around. And Macy Mooney flashes bunt, taking to run.
Yeah, she came in. She's the
Yeah.
flex.
Yep, so she replaced Cunningham. Next pitch to Mooney is inside. She has runners at second and third, and one out.
2-0 count. 9-2.
Ling delivers the next one. It's right down the middle as Mooney watches it, and it's a 2-1 count.
Earlier this inning, Mooney singled and scored.
Bowling gets her to chase. Mooney, I think, was just eager to hit. Popped up, back towards us. I'm not going to be able to make the catch.
My arm wasn't long enough.
My
arm wasn't long enough.
I was afraid I was going to flip our table, so that was my. We're actually sitting pretty close behind. We're actually sitting pretty close behind home plate, so. So they'll try 2-2 again with runners at second. Sawed off on the inside. It's fouled back to the screen. On the inside, it's fouled back to the screen, and Mooney stays alive.
Reflexes a little. Mine were a little slow on that one.
I had all the faith in myself to catch it, but I was like, I'm not destroying equipment today.
Yeah, I did that pregame.
I helped. It's okay. 3-2.
Missing low and away with that pitch was Bowling. Warming up as she goes.
Yeah. That's an unfortunate spot to be put into. And the first pitch she throws to Kuntz. Kuntz is chasing, swinging out of her shoes more than anything. Lily hit back to the pitcher Bowling. Bowling up with it, makes the play. 9-2, Silex leads on Eagle 102 Sports.
Ackles Farm Market and Shelter Insurance Agent Ashley Jenkins.
They lead currently 9-2. The third inning was the only time we saw goose eggs from either team. Mark Twain 6 runs in the top of the fourth inning. They've kind of broke away here, but Mark Twain has done a really good job offensively, and they've continued to fight. So they've been able to scratch back in earlier innings. Be interesting to see what they do here, especially top of the lineup for Moss.
That game is a final from Louisiana. The Bulldogs beat Wright City 15-4. So that was a 5-inning affair.
Good win. First pitch to Adeline Means, bottoms out on the backside of the plate on the outside corner, and it is taken for ball 1. Means wears number 26. She plays first base for the Lady Tigers. curveball off the end of the bat. Van Horn's going to have to be quick as she fields it. It was a slow roller, and she tags the bag herself for out number 1.
3 unassisted on the put out, and there's 1 away. And that seems to be where Mark Twain's been all game, is just 2 outs, you know. And it's hard to put big innings together when you don't get a runner on base until there's 2 outs.
As we have a new hitter in the box taking over, that is number 27, so.
Emmy Lane.
Emmy Lane is batting from the left-hand side. She has 1 strike on her, and she is a slap hitter. She chops at the next one and then tosses her hands up to coach. I don't know if she's wanting to hit for power or if he's wanting her to slap, and there's a little bit of confusion there. The 0-2 pitch dealt in the dirt. Good block by Carrington Morris in 1-2. Not a bad 0-2 pitch. Trying to get her to chase, especially when she seems to have a little confusion in the batter's box. 1-2. And gets her to chase on that outside corner. A beautiful screwball, and they'll toss it around. Another strikeout for Harris.
Takes us back to the top for Ella Moss.
She has had a couple of freebies today. She walked in her first at-bat, and it was a really good at-bat. Had quite a few foul balls. After that, she was hit by a pitch, but she's come around to score both times. Those were the 2 runs on the board, as her foot has been the one taken for a strike on the outside corner at the belt. Next one is nubbed down the first baseline and foul, stopped by Austin Van Horn.
If I were Van Horn, I would have backed up to the bag and saw if that did a Paul DeYoung and came back fair, because the runner was not going.
No. 0-2 to the hitter Moss as Harris spins the ball. And, ooh, a beautiful curveball. Great break. Just a little bit too far outside. And another opportunity for Moss. 1-2. Chases, but gets all of it. Barrels that one up. It was a tomahawk line drive shot. The ball was hit hard to the left fielder, Morgan Kuntz. She reels it in for out number 3. We are headed to the 5th inning. It's a 9-2 lead for the Silex Lady Owls. You're listening to Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Pike County Title Company, Ambassador Plumbing Incorporated, and Lynn's Heritage House.
Gambino's Eatery in Louisiana is open Wednesday through Sunday. Start your day with our select breakfast options: muffins, breakfast burrito, frittata, available from 11 a.m. Enjoy lunch options until 4 p.m., including tenderloin, burgers, wraps, and salads. And Gambino's dinner menu from 4 p.m. to close, featuring delicious entrees like lasagna, red wine pot roast, and more. We offer a variety of dishes beyond pizza and Italian, ensuring there's something for everyone. And don't forget, we're now open Sundays from 11 to 2 p.m. Gambino's on 3rd and Georgia in Louisiana. Your perfect dining destination Wednesday through Sunday.
If it's not on the menu, we don't talk about it.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Geared Up, Community State Bank of Missouri, and Barnes Roots and Herbs.
Moving quick, and first pitch that Kenzie James sees, she's like, I want to hit that one. She finds the 5-6 hole, and she's on with a single.
Been on base 3 times now.
All to the left side. Mm-hmm. Well, she was hit by a pitch in her last at-bat, but the other 2 hits that she has today come to the left side.
That was probably the lightest hit she's had.
Sharply hit to the shortstop, can't get a good grip on it, and it goes to the grass after skipping over the shoulder of Ella Moss. Everybody's safe, first and second base. It was Morris who will reach. Do you give her a hit on that one?
No, I'm going to go error, yeah. That's a ball you've got to at least knock down and save from going into center field. You knock it down, you probably still get the out at second.
Now it's Austin Van Horn, the 4 spot. Let's see what the cleanup hitter does here. She hits the first pitch that she sees, and it goes straight through the legs of Tishner and down the left field line. Everybody is going to be safe as Van Horn is reaching first base.
Yeah, I think that ball earlier may have stung Tischer a little bit.
Yeah. She kind of was messing with her hand, shaking it around a little bit, and then she made that throw.
Woo!
Woo! Hard hit line drive to the second baseman, and quickly up with it. That was Jenna Ross. Almost doubled off Van Horn, but what a shot from Twelman. That is a tough break.
The tough break would have been if they would have doubled her off.
Yeah.
But just as it stands, 1 out, base is still loaded, and you still have the potential to get yourself up by 10 with a hit or two here heading into the bottom of the 5th inning.
So a pitcher versus pitcher matchup. First pitch from Bowling is high to the outside corner above the letters on Harris's jersey. 1-0. Swings at the next one. It's popped high on the infield. Camping out under it, calling everybody off. It's Ella Moss, and she makes the catch one step behind second base.
Now the whole complexion of this inning has changed. You had bases loaded, nobody out. Now it's bases loaded, 2 outs. And the number 7 hitter, Cunningham, digging in.
She's had some success today to the left side. Swings at the first pitch from Bowling. Moss is going to get an opportunity. She underhand tosses it to second base. Ross is there to make the grab. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Our score is still 9-2. Silex leads Mark Twain on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by McMailer and Sons Backhoe and Excavating, La Crosse Lumber Company, and Sudsy Tub.
Everyone needs help with something at some point in their life. This is Tracy B. with PCHD, and I am here to remind you that we have certified community health workers staffed at our office that offer assistance for free to those who need help navigating local resources and more. Please don't hesitate to call 573-324-2111 to learn more, or visit our website at pikecountyhealth.org.
Eagles Bluff Golf Course in Clarksville is a locally owned public course available for play 7 days a week. For more information, call, visit, or go online to eaglesbluffgolf.com.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, State Farm agents Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, and Pepsi.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the Silex Lady Owls leading the Mark Twain Lady Tigers 9-2. Silex had an opportunity, a good start to that top of the 5th, and then all of a sudden it just kind of seemed like their dreams were crushed whenever it came to getting a run to come across the plate to score.
Yeah, that first one I think was the dagger. That,
yeah.
Line drive, hit it on the screws, but right at the second baseman. They were lucky not to get doubled off, but then a couple of weak contacts pop up to the shortstop and a ground out, and all of a sudden your bases loaded situation doesn't end up producing any runs.
And that's just pitch selection, and hitting is fun. A lot of people will tell you that. A lot of coaches, a lot of players will tell you it's fun. But when you see all your friends hitting the ball, you want to hit the ball too. And so sometimes that just makes you really aggressive at the plate, and that can pay off at times. Other times it ends you in a situation just like we saw there, where you had bases loaded with nobody out and no runs come across the score.
Yep.
So what did being aggressive at the plate and eager really do for you? Harris still towing the rubber for the Silex Lady Owls. She delivers the first pitch, and it is fouled at the end of the bat of Jenna Ross.
I think Carrington may have gotten a little bit of bat there or something.
She does sit pretty close to the hitter. I think that she's a tough kid.
Yeah.
So I want to tell somebody, well, continue shooting closer, right? We've seen how bad that pays off, especially in but she's able to frame pitches up, especially when pitchers are labor has been effective. By Carrington, she doesn't even toss her mask off. That was maybe 2 steps in front of home plate. She pops up and tosses out Ross down the first baseline. Fantastic bunt.
2-4 on the put out, and again had to contend with the bat as well. I thought that the ball hit the bat, which would have been a foul ball.
Right.
But the home plate umpire stayed right on top of it, said nope. And the throw was just in time.
And it'll be the 3-spot Harding And the first pitch she sees is high and outside as Harris will spin the ball, gets the sign, and delivers. Ooh, turned on that one fast. It is foul. Long strike down the left field line.
She and her teammates have just been peppering the foul territory.
Anything up in the zone, they hit it hard. So that's something you're going to have to remember as you move. That's something you have to learn from as you move throughout the course of this game. They've struggled with low and outside. Not saying you can't go upstairs, but that's where their wheelhouse is. Deep fly high in the air to the left fielder, Kuntz. She calls everybody off as that ball continued to kind of fall to the center field.
She called that off so loudly that I was getting out of her way.
So she was able to ball high in the air. This one's going to drop right in between the second baseman and the right fielder, hustling and going for 2 bags is Tischer. As that ball continued to carry, placed right on the line, and then it just bounced, ran to the sideline.
Chalk popped up.
Yeah.
That was right on the line. Good positioning by the home plate umpire to make the call. And now Mark Twain has something going here, again with 2 outs.
9-2 our score. With a power hitter at the plate in Haley, but she's struggled some today. She's had a couple of strikeouts. Tischer at second base. And the next pitch is low as Harris shakes her hand around.
And that 2-out double may have been just what Mark Twain needed to try and get back in this ball game.
Beautiful pitch on the outside, but has struggled to find the zone. So not necessarily a pitch that's going to always be called. When you've struggled to find the zone, that's a good pitch, though. It's a pitcher's pitch. But a 3-0 count. Bring it to 3-1. Ball right at the knees on the inside.
Yeah, she wasn't throwing a get-over fastball in 3-0.
That was a screwball. You know, you have a power hitter here. Check swing. Are they going to call her for it? Oh, I would be checking that. Yeah. Oh, she was way out in front of it, but that's going to be ball 4.
It didn't look like her bat broke the plane of the plate. It's a judgment call, regardless, but I would have put the arms out safe as well. Brings in the pitcher bowling.
She's been hit by a pitch and grounded out to the shortstop. That pitch gets away from Morris. And runners now at second and third for the Lady Tigers and bowling at the plate.
Got the first 2 out pretty easily. The double that just hit fair. And now a walk, and it just seems like Ryland Harris is a little rattled here.
Ground ball slowly rolling, and it's foul. It'll find the third base coach's box.
Which has not had a coach in it all day.
It is not. I feel like it's in an awkward spot.
Yeah.
It's too far away from third base and too far back. Next one, line down the third base line again, inches away from being fair. So a couple of foul balls down that third base line. If I'm Silex, I'm shifting my defense.
Well, Mooney can't get much closer to the bag.
No. But with a runner at second base, you'd like to see that outfielder move closer to the left field line. Ooh. Beautiful curveball on the outside corner. That was a pitcher's pitch. Doesn't get called.
Had to run her up.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Well executed. 2-2, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Bottom of the 5th inning. Harris, the next pitch. Curveball gets her to chase. Same spot. This time, bowling goes down swinging. We're headed to the top of the 6th inning. Our score, 9-2. Silex leads Mark Twain on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Mike Henry Excavating, Pogue Chevy Buick in Hannibal, and Service and Supply Co-op.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Eagles Bluff Golf Course, People's Bank and Trust, Pike County Health Department, and Missouri State Representative Chad Perkins.
Hodges is back towing the rubber for the mark on the inside, and it's called for strike number 1. 2-1 the count with nobody out, and Macy Mooney at the plate. Lined through the 5-6 gap into left field, and some trouble with it in left, but it's able to be recovered. Mooney's going to have a long single there, but Bronwyn Harding had some trouble. I mean, that ball was smacked.
Yeah. Kind of got on the top of the ball, so when it did hit the ground, it sped up, and I think that's what the trouble was. And now we're going to have a pinch runner come in, and that, I believe, is Claire Schwendeman. Is that a 10?
Yes. So Claire will take over at first base. In the 9 spot, Kuntz will step into the batter's box. She's flash bunt a couple of times today. Put the ball in play. She bunts this one down the third baseline, staying back, and it's Tischer. The ball gets away. It's going to run down the right field line. Coming around to score, it's going to be Schwindeman. Standing up at second base, it's Kuntz. So fielded cleanly by Tischer, but the throw just lacked the oomph to get to first base.
Yeah, her throws have just kind of gone high today.
Yeah.
They just floated.
It almost looks like the yips. When pitchers get the yips, obviously Tischer is a third baseman, but that's kind of what it looks like.
Maybe she's having a little trouble gripping the ball after that line drive
That
earlier.
could be it. Bunted right back to the pitcher. Harding up with it. Makes a strong throw to first base. Not in time. They're going to call her safe.
Yeah, she beat it by a full step. And now runners at the corners with nobody out. And Silex is trying to get, again, to that 10-run lead. They had a chance last inning, left the bases loaded.
So it'll be Kinsey James, who's had a lot of success at the plate. Both pitchers, whether it was Bowling or Hodges, she's been able to square it up. She flashes bunt, pulls it back, taking second base. It'll be Jensen.
Defensive indifference.
James will step back in with a 1-0 count. She watches this one all the way to the back of the plate and into the mid. It's in for strike 1.
She's had a good day. Been on base 3 times.
Next pitch to Kinsey, elevates, reeled in by Paxton.
Now Kinsey ahead in the count, 2-1.
James looks for the next pitch, lines this one hard down the third baseline. It's going to be fair. 1 run comes across the score, and here comes another. 2 more runs for the Silex Lady Owls. A big double for Kinsey James. What a day.
Just continues to drive the ball to left field. She's done it all day long, and this time that puts Silex up by 10. So if they can hold in the bottom half of this inning, the game's over in 6.
Be Morris. She can trade places with James, as there's nobody out, and the first pitch she sees bounces in. 1-0.
Morris has been on base 3 times. Also, she lined into a double play.
Going on that first bounce before it got past the catcher.
She knew she had a pretty good shot.
Yeah. If you can read it well, I say go for it. Runner standing at third. This one gets away. Going to hit the net at the backstop. James is going to come across to score. She'll stand up. No sliding needed. As couldn't even get to the ball before she was maybe a step away from the plate. Good read once again.
4 runs have crossed in the inning. 13-2. Silex leads.
Morris has a 3-0 count. Nobody on, nobody out. An opportunity to start over here. And that first pitch will be taken as a strike. 3-1.
Yeah, the wheels have just sort of fallen off today here at Mark Twain.
Next pitch runs way inside, backs her off the plate, and it's ball 4.
Not characteristic of how Mark Twain has been playing.
Yeah, it seems like they've had a lot of fight this year. Looks like they may be going back to bowling in the pitcher circle.
No, she's
No.
still standing out there and right.
Looks like there's going to be a pitching change, and I believe it's going to be Tischer. So she'll get some warm-up tosses. We'll take a quick break. Be back with more from the 6th inning on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Hayden's Motorsports, Geeky Hillbilly, and the Twin Pike Family YMCA.
Central State Bank believes in more than just banking. Central State Bank's team takes the time to understand your unique needs and goals, and they're proud to be part of the community, actively supporting local businesses and events. Enjoy state-of-the-art banking technology for easy and secure online and mobile banking. Join thousands of satisfied customers who've made the switch to Central State Bank and experience the personal touch and professional service that set them apart. Visit one of the convenient locations in Pleasant Hill, Pittsfield, Kinderhook, Quincy, and Clayton. Central State Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by A Taste of Philly, State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock, Central State Bank of Illinois, and Eolia Landscape Supply.
New pitcher is Jalen McCullum. She wears number 9. Mark Twain trailing 13-2. Nobody out and a runner at first base here in the top of the 6th inning. Not an enviable position, as she'll have to face the cleanup hitter Van Horn right off the bat.
Good news is she has an opportunity to close the door here and allow Mark Twain to get back in and do some hitting. 12-2 our score with Van Horn at the plate. First pitch she sees out of the hand of McCullum is up and out for ball number 1. The runner on first base is Morris. That was the last pitcher, or the last hitter that Hodges faced. And the next pitch from McCullum is out of the zone as well. 2-0. Van Horn. When a hitter's count, eyes ball 3.
Everything's high so far, and when you're brought into a ball game, you're kind of juiced up and things go high, and well, that off speed went high as well.
4 pitches, 4 balls, and a walk issued to Austin Van Horn. Runners at first and second base with nobody out, and it's Schwellman at the plate. Goes chasing, chops the ball into the ground, and a tough play. The shortstop up with it, and it was a toss underhanded to Tischer at third base, and coming in, breaking things up was Morris, so she's going to be safe at third base.
Yeah, I think she was bobbling the ball.
Yeah, she was bobbling the ball, and Morris kind of messed with that as well. The toss was a little late from Moss, but Tischer had a little bit of trouble corralling it when there's somebody standing in her way.
Yeah, I'm going to go just straight fielder's choice.
Yeah.
And the bases are loaded. They don't record an out.
Line drive dropped by the third baseman, Tischer. She steps on third base. The run is going to come across to score. So the error on the dropped line drive, but she's able to recover, tag third base, and there is one run that comes across in that process.
So 14-2.
Swinging at the first pitch she sees. This one is fouled, and it'll go out of play off the bat of Cunningham. 0-1 with 1 out. Runners at first and second for the Lady Owls.
5 have crossed in the inning, and now we'll get a courtesy runner.
And I think it's Lichtig.
Yeah, Taylor.
So she'll take over at first base. On deck, it's Macy Mooney. And the next pitch is taken inside at the knees for strike number 2.
I think he'll open up the strike zone a little bit here.
Ooh, that was close. Just a little low, dips out of the zone. And Cunningham will see another pitch.
pinch hitter on deck if the inning continues.
Goes chasing high. This one's popped into the air. Could be no man's land, but it's Moss who's able to shade.
Well, it's still
Catches
Macy.
the ball behind third base. Can of corn pop fly.
My mistake. Thought I saw a different number. So Macy will bat for a second time this inning.
Yes.
She's had 2 innings where she's led off and then hit again.
I feel like we said her name so much today. She's led off many innings.
Yeah.
Come around to hit a couple of times. She'll hit now with 2 outs and runners at first and second base. First pitch dealt to Mooney. Skips 3 times before hitting the glove of Paxton. McCullum gets her sign and delivers the next pitch. Mooney watches this one. It'll even things up 1-1.
Looks like she's starting to get into a groove a little bit.
This one softly ground in 6 innings. A rally still could happen for the Lady Tigers, as it'll be Paxton, Means, Shepard. If anybody gets on, they'll be back to the top of the lineup. Still haven't changed the scoreboard here.
We have.
We have. We've done that. We've done our math correctly.
Checked it twice.
Yep.
Carried the 1.
Couple, as we mentioned, it'll be Paxton. So 7, 8, 9. It'll be back to the top of the lineup if anybody gets on. So Paxton, Means, Shepard, and then back to the top of the lineup for Moss. The first pitch out of the hands of Harris is low for ball 1.
Tigers single tallies in the first and second have been held scoreless since then.
Chopping at that one. Gets a bat on it, 1-1.
They've had opportunities, just haven't been able to push one across. Now they're down by a dozen.
Just missing on the inside, bottomed out on the back half of the zone. 2-1. Good read from Paxton. Mark Twain looking to extend this one. This one is fouled hard back to the screen off the net. It'll be Morris who retrieves it, tosses it back out to Harris.
Flown to center, grounded to short, and hit a lot of hard foul balls off the screen today.
I think that's where our hardest hits have been, foul balls. This one is grounded back to Rylan Harris. She bobbles it, but collects herself and makes a strong throw to first base for out number 1.
She stacked the pads there, closed her feet, it missed her glove. She was able to trap it there and throw over for an easy out at first.
Brings Adeline Means to the plate. First pitch to Means, elevates, and goes out of the zone, 1-0. The next, popped in the air, back towards us. This is your opportunity, Mark. No, it's too far away.
Come on, guys.
We have about 5 people to our right that did not move at all.
Yeah.
They didn't move to catch.
They look like football players, too.
Hit sharply down the third baseline. A couple of really big hops, but it is foul. 1-2. There's a reason they're not on the softball field. 1-2 with 1 out and Means at the plate. Gets her to chase a curveball that elevates up in the zone, and that's strike number 3. 2 outs now, and the Mark Twain Lady Tigers have they've still never changed the scoreboard out there. 14-2 is our score.
8 strikeouts in the ball game now for Harris.
Swinging at the first pitch she sees. This one is fouled back to the screen. Emily Lane.
Goes by Emmy, full name Emberly.
Bunts at the next one, and it heads back to the screen. She tipped the head of her bat down, and it popped up.
That sounded like it broke your brain.
Yeah.
Emberly.
Emberly.
Short to Emmy.
It's not a name you hear very much anymore. I've heard Ember.
Yeah, well,
but not
it sounds like
Emberly.
a street, Emberly Lane.
It does. And swing and a miss, another strikeout. That's strikeout number 9 for Rylan Harris, and that is ball game. The Silex Lady Owls defeat the Mark Twain Lady Tigers 14-2 in EMO conference play. We'll come back with the postgame show next on Eagle 102 Sports.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Pike County Title Company, Ambassador Plumbing Incorporated, and Lynn's Heritage House.
The Eagle 102 Sports postgame show is coming up on KJFM Radio.
Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats is your first stop when stocking your freezer. Brown's has frozen chicken, steaks, brats, and burgers ready to go. For wholesale and custom butchering, Brown's is your first call. It's where quality meets service. Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats. For your meat processing, smokehouse meats, and homemade sausage. Just off Highway 61 in Silex.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
The Eagle's Nest Inn Bed and Breakfast in Louisiana is where history, comfort, and charm come together. Explore quaint streets, visit local attractions, and return to comfort at the end of the day. Call or book online at theeaglesnestinbb.com.
The best coverage of area high school sports is on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite, Pike County Memorial Hospital, Ackles Farm Market, and Shelter Insurance Agent Ashley Jenkins.
Time now for the Eagle 102 Sports postgame show on KJFM Radio.
The Silex Lady Owls go on the road and pick up win number 4 on the season. 14-2 the final here at Mark Twain High School. Mark Froelich, Maddie Ingram back here in the broadcast booth, high above the field. We're in the upper deck, the top row.
We're as high as it gets here, yeah.
Still lower than the roofs of the dugouts.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But a good ball game for Silex. Mark Twain just kind of, it was one of those days, you know.
They kind of shut down, which is not necessarily the characteristics that we've seen out of this team this year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they've done a really good job of fighting, especially with some tough EMO conference teams and with an EMO conference that's kind of shaken up this year. They've never really been out of a game, but it seemed like after the 4th inning is when they kind of just started powering down, and then by inning 5 they really had just kind of shut off, and it didn't seem like they had a whole bunch of fight after that.
So for Silex, 14 runs on 12 hits. There were 7 walks in this ball game, and there was a couple of hit by pitches as well. So that's 9 free passes, just 1 strikeout, and that was the first batter of the ball game. Rylan Jensen struck out, and she went on to be on base three times after that. So errors, walks, hit by pitches. It just wasn't a great day for the home team here at Mark Twain as Silex wins this one early in 6 innings by a score of 14-2. The other line for Harris, 6 inning pitched, 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 hits, walked 2, hit 2, and struck out 9.
Yeah, that's a pretty good performance. You know, it is really tough, especially when Silex has played a lot of really tough competition. They've played some bigger schools whenever they started out with a tournament this season. But when you look at this and you only have one really strong pitcher that's going to go all your varsity innings, that's your workhorse. And so it's games like this when you put up, you know, you want to score those runs as early as possible because you want to give her arms some rest. There were times where she was really kind of laboring and throwing a lot of pitches, but as you move throughout the course of the season, you've got to get your offense up for a pitcher like this because you're going to want to give her as much rest as possible. So if you can end a game in 5 innings, if you can end a game in 3 innings, you've got to get that offense up. And so, you know, that's all something that comes with experience and just endurance training, getting to a spot where you can throw 7 innings multiple times a week and be okay.
Hard to find many faults in a 12-run victory, but for Silex, there were glimpses. So some of the things that have been ailing them: bases loaded, nobody out, couldn't score.
Yeah,
and it's the old Tommy Boy,
Mm-hmm.
they get the bases loaded, and it's like a new toy, and they just get excited in the batter's box and want to hit everything and end up popping up or striking out.
Yeah, one thing that I really love about watching Silex, especially this year, is there's a lot of positivity in those athletes. And so, especially on the left side, Macy Mooney, Kinsey James, it seems like they're always sporting a smile no matter what. But
well,
sometimes
Macy Mooney was in the batter's box all day.